What exactly has been the reaction from the White House to Bob Woodward's really book that has been creating so much controversy?
Well, the book Bob Woodward's book portrays the president as mercurial, inept, and untruthful. So you can imagine that he's not particularly excited about that portrayal. He's come out in a tweet and basically said it's a con, and that it's already been discredited by members of his administration. Interestingly, though, the president has not called it fake news, which is usually one of his favorite ways to try to castigate articles and books and things he doesn't like. And he hasn't done that in this case, and he hasn't really attempted, at least not yet, to come out and to try to discredit individual accounts in the book, like the one about Gary Cohn and the South Korea trade agreement. So it's interesting, but of course it's the talk of Washington. This is what everybody's talking about there in the past 24 hours, even before the book has actually officially been published.
Jodi, that's not the only thing which is the talk of the town. We've got these hearings going into this Senate, or shall I say, Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh, a bit rancorous here as well. I mean, there is the opportunity for Donald Trump to perhaps create one of the most conservative benches in living memory.
That's right. And, of course, Democrats are trying to fight this nomination as much as they can. Not only the nomination itself of Brett Kavanaugh, but the way it's been done. They say they're being railroaded, that there's been thousands of pages of reports they haven't had access to. The Democrats actually asked for a delay in the proceedings, which didn't occur. The Senate...
Well, till after the midterms.
Right. Well, yeah, that would be convenient for them. The Republicans want to get him on the court for the next term, which starts October 1st. So there's, it's really a race for them. It was rancorous in the hearing room, protesters outside the hearing room. His comments were pretty measured. He said that he would be a justice for all the people, that he would work as a team with the other justices, the other 8 justices. He would not be on one side.
What do we know about him anyway, really?
Well, we know a fair bit about him. I mean, he's he's a respected jurist, but an extremely conservative jurist, and his writings show that. And he talked about some of them yesterday, but really tried to portray himself as somebody who was not going to take a particular stand. He would look at each case individually, which it's not a surprising kind of testimony for someone who has had a lot of controversy around them. There'll be more hearings. The hearings will continue in the next few days.
Yeah, and at the end of it all, Jodi, is Kavanaugh still likely to be confirmed?
Yes, he is. If the Republicans don't lose any votes or many votes, they can confirm him without any Democrats. And there's a few Democrats that may actually vote for him, given that they're in very tough Senate races. This is why the Democrats wanted these confirmation hearings to occur after the midterms. But people like Joe Manchin in West Virginia and Heidi Heitkamp in North Dakota, who are in very tough races, may go ahead and vote for him. They have not said yet what they'll do, but they haven't said they'd vote against him. So they will probably have enough votes, and they may be able to do it by the start of the new Supreme Court term, which begins October 1st.
Quickly here, some members who join the Supreme Court may have very conservative values going into that nomination, but they can change, can't they? They can be liberal in some of their views.
Right, and they can vote with the majority more often than you would expect. Once people get on the court, they sometimes, are persuaded by the arguments of their other justices. Yet we are now seeing, given the fact that this will be the second Supreme Court nominee that President Trump has been able to have, we are seeing that swing toward the right, away from the center.